Good morning. The weatherman has lied again. He said it was going to be cloudy and I was ready to go out and shoot some black and white, and look how glorious that is. So we are currently right down on the riverbank because I think I can get some cool shots right underneath this bridge. And the reason why I'm right underneath here is because, as you may be able to tell, it is super low tide and you can actually touch the wall. I mean, there's not even any water passing between this bit and the wall. And this is absolutely mad because usually the water line comes up to about here, which is a good 4 or 5 meters up in the air. And the reason why I'm so excited by this is that because the tide is so low, this means that there is these interesting lines of water running around the edge that I've never seen before. I've never seen anyone taking photos under here. And so I want to explore, I want to experiment. For any of you non-English folk, here are some swans that are kindly joining me. Hey dude. The tide is so low, but it's not quite low enough because I really want to try and get a photo of some pools within that little reflect. Excuse me. I want to really get a photo of inside that perfectly flat bit of puddle. It's not really a puddle, is it? So that flat bit of water. I like to see myself as athletic, but I've kind of got myself stuck as I'm balanced up here. Can't really move my feet, and I don't trust that this thing can hold my weight, and it's water down there, so I feel like it's gonna be a wet foot moment. Oh, it's so slimy. We did it! Something that I think is also very underrated is coming back to the same spot over and over and over again. And I'm not just saying that because my training comes into Blackfriars. I'm saying that because by coming back to the same spot, you are then understanding how light works within this environment. You're then understanding how the structures of certain buildings allow you to frame things. And then because you can come and get the same easy photos over and over again, you start being experimental. Start to do something completely new and something completely different because you're forced to create within those limitations. And so I highly recommend to anyone that wants to get better to come to the same spot. I mean, you can clearly tell that I absolutely love South Bank. I think that the morning light is just absolute fire, and there's loads of interesting things like this guy on a street sweeper going along there, which I'm actually going to take a photo of, but keep going back to the same spots. So, how do we take photos of strangers in public? This is something that is often very challenging for us street photographers because, yeah, we don't want to get into a confrontation, we don't want to intrude on anyone. However, having some sort of human element within our photos often tells a better story. So there's a bunch of different do's and don'ts that we can be aware of whilst we're out taking photos to help limit the chances of us getting into any sort of confrontation, whilst also meaning that we get banging photos. And before we get started, quick shout out to Kathy for the oat flat white. Well, it's an espresso with a bit of oat milk in there. If you want to support the channel, the number one thing you need to think about is being cool, being chill, and not trying to hide anything. And this will go such a long way. Photographers often have a really bad reputation, from the paparazzi to creeps taking photos of typically hot girls. And we want to avoid both of these things at all costs. And you've got to think about it from other people's perspective. Street photography is quite weird. Normally when people take photos, there is a specific purpose. Often people are taking photos of their friends, or a specific moment like weddings, or they're traveling to a new city and they've seen this beautiful structure that they've only ever seen other people's photos of. And so when you apply this logic to street photography, people are like, what is the reason behind these photos? Where are these photos going to be used? And bro, Tower Bridge is that way. Why are you facing this way with your camera? And so we've got to communicate with our body language that we're just having fun. We're just taking photos and there is no real purpose to it. And we're not going to infringe on any of their privacy. And typically, if someone twigs that I've taken a photo of them, I like to keep my camera up. So I'll be looking through here and people will walk past in the frame and I just keep looking at the environment, because I want to communicate to them that they are not the subject, that the environment that they have just walked through is the subject, and that's the thing that I'm interested in. Because I think that that goes quite a long way to help people feel settled, to help people feel relaxed, because I don't want to infringe on them. They are not the subject. They're part of the scene, part of my subjects, I guess, but their personality, their day isn't the thing that I'm interested in. And it's also quite satisfying because sometimes people will go, oh, what, are you trying to take a photo of that? Get the phone out, take a photo. And that to me is so satisfying and I love it. Hey buddy, you want to be photographed? Something that I absolutely love to do, and I find that this helps mitigate 99% of all of the different potential challenges that may arise, is to give your subjects the choice as to whether they want to be photographed or not. So what do I mean by that? It's all about using body language. If I'm standing around in a space with my camera, pointing at things, that is indicating that I am taking photos in this space. And so I'll be looking around, finding different compositions, and when there's somewhere that I think this would look really nice with a human subject, before anyone arrives, I put my camera up to my eye and I look through it as if I'm taking a photo. And that to me is a huge green light, because if anyone walks into your frame and they've seen you taking photographs, they know that they are potentially going to have their photograph taken. However, if they stop and if they try to go around you for whatever reason, immediately put your camera down. There's no point in trying to get this photo because the subject's amazing. If they don't want to be photographed, don't photograph them. You are out having fun taking photos. You do not want to disrupt people who are going about their day doing what they think is fun. If this ever happens, I typically drop my camera, say thanks, smile, move on, pretend I've taken my photo. I can then return if I want to, but yeah, I don't want to impact everyone else's lives because I want to take a photo. Don't be sneaky and don't pull out your camera last second. Typically, as humans, we hide things we don't want people to see, right? And so if you apply this to photography and street photography, you've then got to think about, okay, this person who's got a camera is trying to not be seen taking photos. What does that communicate to everyone else? To me, that suggests that you are up to no good. Yes, you could argue that people who know they're being photographed typically act differently. I know I do, I know a lot of my friends do. There's just something about having a camera pointed at you that makes you act differently. But although you may not be able to get the most beautiful, authentic, candid photo, kind of hiding ominously, to then come out and take a photo last second, you are then removing the choice from your subject as to whether they want to be photographed. When you're using a wider focal length, you are then trying to capture a wider frame, the wider environment, the context in which a human subject is in. You are then reducing the emphasis on the individual, and therefore you are being less invasive on that person, that individual. It also means that you can then take photos in the same scene over and over and over again with a bunch of different people walking through the frame. And this is often really good because I find that I may see a subject in a competition that I like, and then 2 minutes later, someone with a better outfit, who's more interesting, someone that's juxtaposing, comes into frame and then ultimately creates a better photograph. And then because you're taking a wider frame, you're then able to explore different compositions. You're not so focused on the individual. You are then focused on the scene, and then if an individual comes in, that then creates a better photo. I'm not cool with this trend that's going around on TikTok and Instagram at the moment, where people are walking around cities with their 70-200mm f2.8, taking photos at 200mm of random people and then photoshopping their faces to shit. And using a telephoto lens, you are able to get so close. You are able to remove all of the situational context and the environment around them that makes that places the subject. You are then essentially creating a portrait of this individual with none of their knowledge, permission, none of that. And yeah, this is perfectly legal in the UK, but is this ethical? I don't know. I do not care if you take a photo of me and I'm in this cool environment and the photo looks cool. Do that all day. But don't take a portrait of me when I'm not ready, I'm crossing the street, I'm mouth breathing, or I'm half eating a sandwich, to then spend hours photoshopping my face, to then upload it to the internet and to try rack in all of these Instagram likes. That to me just is not cool. And you go back to thinking about what is the purpose of the image. If the image has no environmental context, it's a portrait. Portraits are very intimate. They are probably the most intimate form of photography because it is purely about that subject, who is a person, who has feelings, who has emotions, who has experiences. You don't want to infringe on that. You want to get permission first, and yeah, I just absolutely hate this trend. Okay, so what do you do if you get confronted? Number one, stay chill, be friendly. It might sound so obvious, but if someone is annoyed at you for taking a photo, if you are proactive and you are friendly and you make the first move by smiling, by saying, beautiful day, isn't it? Or that's such a beautiful scene, 99% of people go, huh, you're just a friendly photographer. Versus, what is this guy up to? And the goal is to make friends. You are here to have fun. You want to go out of your way to just be nice to everyone around you. And that goes such a long way. Most people are friendly, especially if you make the first move. If you are friendly to them first, that is green lights in your head. No one goes, that guy's being weirdly nice to me. Wonder what that photo is for. It doesn't work that way. People are chill. And if someone comes over and they're annoyed, be friendly. Yes, technically in the UK, you can say, well, under the bylaw of blah, 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 I'm actually legally allowed to take photos of anyone in public. People think you're a dick. And what's the point in trying to piss off strangers? I found that if you just go, oh yeah, look, this is the photo I was taking. If you look here, I really like this scene and you were just walking the way and I thought it just looked beautiful. Most people go, yeah, fair, and leave you to it. And by this point, you have done so much to communicate that you are chill, that you are just out having fun and there's no malicious intent with your photos. If they are still angry, you've deleted your photos and they're still going after you, just see you later, I'm done, I'm gone. Because there is no point in getting into some sort of fight about your photography. So hopefully that was helpful. Like and subscribe, and yeah, until next time, double peace. I'm so grateful for days like today where I can come out and I can just experience life, experience the world, and just observe. And I am so grateful to be in the position that I am, that I'm a professional photographer, and so I have a lot of flexibility in my day, in what I'm up to, and I'm just honestly so grateful. And thank you to every one of you who has supported me on this journey. It means so much, and yeah, hopefully I'm creating images that you find interesting, and that, yeah, I'm not sure I'm going with this, but